What's going on, Transcendent Family? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Tamar Lawton. As you saw in today's title, today we're going to be going through everything that I'm doing post-show to recover from my nutrition and my training. And I'm also going to take you all along for the day because I'm also a peak performance coach. I'll kind of show you what my day in life is. Today is not necessarily a normal day for me. We'll get into that a little bit later, but yeah, I just woke up. I went ahead and weighed in because this is also a part of my post-show routine for the off season. So yes, a lot of you are like, are you going to compete again? Let's go ahead and get that question out the way. Yes, so you're going to want to stay tuned. Let's get it. All right, y'all, so I'm about to put you all on game real quick. I know some people are going to clown me. It really doesn't even matter because, like I said, here to put y'all on game. So headband, wristband, my wife put me onto this. This is actually super, super clutch if you don't want water all over the sink and everything like that. Absolutely hate that. And I'm the one who cleans the bathrooms in my family. So I gotta make my life a little bit easier. So fellas, if you're trying to do that, put these wristbands on right before you do whatever face routine, keeps the water from dripping down your arms. Then put this headband on, make sure the water's not getting into your hairline, everything like that. I got locks, it's cold outside, I'm not trying to have water going all over the place. I kind of wash my face in kind of a messy fashion, but it is what it is. This helps keep everything contained. And then outside of that, I am a facial kind of skincare guy. Y'all already know that. Y'all seen the beard videos. Y'all actually really love the beard videos. So if y'all want to know what I'm doing while I was on stage, I was hitting that hood, you know what I'm saying? Had the smile, face was shining. If y'all want to know how I made that happen, definitely let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll make a separate video and I'll put y'all on game. All right, you all, I just finished my skincare routine for my face. Remember, if you all want to learn how to get your facial care together, comment down below. Now it's time for breakfast. So I got 3 eggs. I don't know if y'all can see this. Cook them sunny side up. Some people say black people don't eat sunny side up eggs. I don't know where they got that from. Listen, whether you're making a breakfast sandwich, whether you're making some kind of scramble, when you crack that egg open and it drizzles down, tastes absolutely amazing. You'll see them a lot of times in Korean beef bowls. There's a reason why it's made like that. It just adds more moisture to the food. It's like a sauce. Tastes really, really good. Here, I got some venison, and I'll open this up for you all so you can see it as well. You know, get a little zoom in. This, shout out to Mr. Roebuck, was killed in the wild fields of North Georgia. So when we talk about knowing where your meat is sourced, absolutely a blessing that I have that connection. This is the hot sausage kind. At the processing plant, they added like some red pepper flakes, stuff like that, a little pre-seasoning. Super, super lean meat. If you know anything about deer, about venison, tastes absolutely amazing. I want to prep on this. I just have to figure out how to track it a little bit better, but absolutely amazing. Got a tomato here. We got lettuce. And then, let me take this out before it burns. We got the wheat Publix bun. So we got a nice little breakfast sandwich going. And then of course, Sweet Baby Ray's sugar-free barbecue sauce. It's never too early for barbecue sauce. I'm gonna go ahead and slam this down, brush my teeth, and then I'll catch y'all in the car. All right, you all, so I'm headed off to train my first client. And side note, I don't know about y'all, but when I get in my car, I generally don't like to just pull off. I like to let the RPMs come down because, you know, you cut your car and it goes up and then slowly comes back down. I noticed like recently over the last few weeks, I haven't been doing that. So I'm about to get back to it. You know, patience is one of the fruits of the spirit. So yeah, not that I have an old car by any means, but I think, you know, that just helps your car last longer, run smoother. Also, typically speaking, when I'm going to my first client and it's in the morning, I'll listen to a book. So I just finished The Awe of God by John Bevere. That's a really great read, really great listen. I highly recommend whether you listen to it or read it, definitely do that. It just goes over the fear of God. And I can't say it just goes over that because the fear of God is so important to our faith. Without it, you're going to be lost at sea, and that book dives into the keys of how to actually unlock that in your spirit and truly fear God the way that we're meant to. So I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to listen to today because, like I said, I just finished that. I'll probably let y'all know when I get there, but let's go ahead and make it in. Alrighty, y'all. So I just pulled up to the gym. First client is about to come in a few minutes. I like to always get to every appointment early so I can set up, make sure my mind's right, and make sure I can give them a great experience. Now, today, the idea and the hope is that we can lift as much as he's ever lifted in the squat, right? So this will be really cool to get this on camera. It will be squat, overhead press, and then we'll be doing a weighted pull-up. Really just kind of depends. He had been recovering from some elbow tendonitis from a lot of golf and stuff like that. But one thing I want to tell you all, and one thing I feel like people always overlook, is addressing how they feel coming into a session. A lot of you all probably go into a session, you're like, this is what I have written down, so this is what I'm doing. And one thing as a peak performance coach, I'm always doing for my clients, as soon as they come in, hey, how's your energy? What did you do last night? Where's your mindset coming in? Because if my client went to like a Future concert last night, was drinking, was up to like 2 a.m, we're definitely not PRing anything, right? And so that's the same with you. Obviously, that's just an extreme example just for fun, but you need to assess how you feel, and you don't need to just push through and do whatever you have written on the paper, right? There's times where that makes sense. There's what I would call challenge sessions or even challenge days where it's like, hey, let's just push through. But majority of the time, especially for the everyday person, if you're not an athlete, you need to really assess how you're feeling so you can make sure you're not spilling over into overtraining, which I know some people are like, there's no such thing as overtraining. But trust me, a lot of you are overstimulated, overstressed, and you're overtraining and then wonder why you're not getting great results. All right, you all, first session in the books. Super proud of my client. He was able to push some heavy weight today. We're not quite at 300, but I feel confident that we'll either hit it by the end of the year or right at the top of the year. Again, I'm not a big person. I don't know if I said this earlier. I'm not big on doing 1 rep maxes unless I'm training a power lifter or something like that. Typically, everyday client, I'm going to stick with as low as doubles is as low as I'll go, right? And that's just from a safety risk reward kind of analysis there. But yeah, he did his thing in an overhead press. I got up out of there as well. So about to head back to the crib. One thing about my day in life, at least right now, based on where I'm located, I'm able to go home in between sessions, eat, program for clients, do stuff online. So that's super convenient. So I'm about to actually do that now, and then we'll tap back in. Also, the book that I decided to read this morning that I'm going to continue to listen to as I not read because I'm driving, but continue to listen to as I head back is Fathered by God by John Eldredge. So we're going to go ahead and head back, and then we're going to start to talk about some of this post-show routine and what my off season is looking like. All right, you all, so back in the car again, just finished my last session, actually finishing up at 3 p.m. today. So finishing up a little bit earlier. I don't have any evening sessions today, so I'm definitely going to take advantage of getting back home a little bit earlier. I still have to train. I got some adulting to do with my wife, and so it'll be great to go ahead and get that stuff out the way. But I want to jump in and go ahead and tell you all about post-show nutrition, recovery, training, and how that flows into my off season. So I already kind of showed you all what I ate post-show, right? We went to Iron Age. And the main reason why I did that is, like I said, I've heard of all the post-show horror stories of just bridging up and getting back into your regular way of eating too fast or just going overboard, right? In kind of this binge and purge cycle because you've had all this time depleted and so you eat craziness. And I think the only thing that I could eat that was quote unquote crazy was our wedding anniversary cake, which again, that was something where it's like, hey, my wife already did me huge solid, but not getting angry or anything about me prepping through our anniversary. So I decided I would treat myself with that and enjoy that time with my wife. But when we start to talk about post-show and just off-season, I really want to highlight recovery because this is something that I had struggled with in my personal life for a long time. And when we talk about recovery, I would be remiss if I didn't start with sleep. Regardless if you're a bodybuilder, if you're an athlete, if you're just everyday attorney, doesn't matter. If you're not maximizing and optimizing your sleep, you're just leaving a lot on the table. That's just the clear end of it, right? Period, end of story. You need to make sure that you are recovering from your sleep if you want to get the most out of your body, not only just physically from like a muscle standpoint and energy, but cognitively with your brain function. So if you're not optimizing your sleep, make sure you tap in with that. That's something that needs to carry on off season, in season, every season. Now, when we start to talk about more specifically, what am I doing in terms of recovery from a bodybuilding standpoint, you got to figure going into this show, I'm training as hard as I can. I'm not necessarily doing 2-a-days. I didn't do that going into this show or at any point in time during prep. This was my first show, kind of prepped impromptu with a 12-week prep, but still went extremely hard. And so you don't want to just keep that intensity and that level of volume up ongoing with no sign of end in sight, right? And so what I decided to do right after the show, because that was the month of November, that show was November 2nd, the whole month of November, I just got back to the basics. I got back to my roots, and I did nothing but calisthenics. It was fun. I was able to challenge myself. For those of you all that have been here for some time, you know I got my start for my training in terms of when I started getting serious about training for myself, really by doing calisthenics. And so it was fun to do that. It was really recuperative, and I wasn't pushing myself too hard. I really needed to let my body recover. Now we come in December, and I'm still kind of in a recovery phase, but I've kind of mixed it with GVT. So you're going to want to listen to this because it's different, right? GVT is German volume training. That's the 10 by 10 routine. And I think off the top of my head, you're supposed to use 60% of your 1 rep max. Now for me, I'm not even using 60% of my 1 rep max in these different lifts that I'm about to tell you all about. But the main reason why I wanted to do GVT in this format is because I actually had suffered from some kind of, I don't even really want to call it an injury, but my body wasn't moving in a correct movement pattern. It's probably the easiest way to explain it. And so my right glute, whenever I was doing squats, was not activating. Because of that, it was causing some shifting, and that caused some pain. That caused my psoas muscle to get really tight, get mad at me. And so I actually ended up going to physical therapy for the last portion of my prep because I was like, I can't even do, like, if you all saw some of my routine, I kind of like to flow on stage. That's part of the package that I bring. And I was like, I'm not going to be able to really hit my poses the way I want to if I'm in this pain. So one of the biggest things he told me is like, hey, your right glute is just not activating when you're doing these different movements. He did different tests, and it's like, yeah, you're not getting any help from that. So one of the things he told me I need to do is Bulgarian split squat, band around the leg to get that outer glute to activate. And I was like, that's genius. So what I decided to do from a GVT standpoint is I did 10 sets of 10 on each leg band wrapped around my legs of Bulgarian split squats with the focus of I'm going to feel this right glute and I'm going to retrain my movement patterns so that my right glute can actually help out my leg. And it's not just one of those things where it's like, oh, my quad's trying to take over or the hamstrings are trying to do a little bit. It's like, nope, I need help from that glute. And I actually did my second session with that yesterday, and it was absolutely amazing. So it's kind of showing me that, okay, I had the right thought process there. Didn't want to necessarily, like I said, do 60% of my 1 rep max because now you're so concerned about the weight. You're not concerned about the form and technique. But I'm doing enough volume where I'm actually teaching my brain how to move again. And so you'll see me doing this across other movements as well, like the incline dumbbell bench press. I'm really focusing on that stretch, really opening up. Shout out to Renaissance periodization, really just emphasizing that stretch and really getting those dumbbells out to the side. That was a great reminder to just think about getting that stretch. And I'm doing it 10 for 10. Like I said, not 60% of my 1 rep max, but I'm really just emphasizing that stretch because I want to bring up my upper chest. And so this is crucial going forward. And then a few other movements that I'm not going to show here that I'm doing that with. I'm having a hard time connecting to my lats. It's getting better week by week. I officially started, I guess you could say, lat connectivity training a week and a half ago. So I'm not that deep into it. But if you notice my back pose, part of the reason why I squeeze my back together and I'm not getting that lat spread is because I just can't feel my lats. So I have to physically touch my lats, grab them, get some tactile feedback, and actually squeeze. And so I'm excited because I got my first pump ever in my lats last week. It only lasted for like 7 minutes, and I was like, whoa, this is what it feels like. And I'm excited just to see like how really emphasizing lats, getting the pump, being able to flex that muscle on command, how that's going to transform my posing. And that's pretty much what I have for training right now. I'm going to follow this GVT / movement pattern protocol that I've created for myself for the rest of December. I may deload at the end that final week of December. Since I'm not doing 60% of my 1 rep max, it probably won't even be necessary. I'm recovering fine. And I'll let you all know how my training is going to progress through the rest of the off season coming into January. But now on to nutrition. So finally, when it comes to nutrition, I have a very simple process that I'm going to be following to maximize my gains in terms of muscles, getting my back, upper chest, some different areas that I'm working to bring up. I'm working on my forearms now. I'm going to follow a reverse diet. And if you don't know, I've talked about this several times on my TikTok. It's linked down below in the description. So I'm not going to go too deep into it right now. But the thought process here is that I want to boost my metabolism by increasing my calories slowly over time as I build muscle as high as I possibly can. My goal is to really get my calories north of 3,000 calories and be able to hold them there for at least 2 months before I start prep. By doing this will allow me to have a huge runway to cut from, because before this last show, the lowest my calories got was 1,300 calories. That's absolutely insane. I don't want to do that again. I was pleased with the package I brought, but I know I can bring a better package next time and not have to go that low calories. That was just literally insane. So I need to be able to bring my calories up higher, because the highest I got them before my prep was 2,700. I touched 3,000 for like a week. But imagine if I was coming from 3,250 or 3,500, right? So the goal is to boost it as high as I possibly can, create that long runway, and then I'm actually going to go for a slightly longer prep than my 12 weeks this last time. So yeah, that's pretty much it for those of you all that are excited about this bodybuilding journey. I had wanted to get really technical, kind of give you the ins and outs, because I know some of you are like, tell me exactly what you're doing, and hopefully you're not doing this from the standpoint that you apply it to yourself. That's what a coach is for. And we'll get more into like coaching. Will I have a coach for this next one? All that in the next one. But I just wanted to say this before I get off. I really appreciate all of you all that are here right now. It truthfully means a lot to me from the bottom of my heart. You're an early adopter. You're here before things pop off. You're here at the ground level, and you could be doing anything else with your time, and you decide to watch this video all the way through. So I can't thank you enough for doing that. I really appreciate it. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, turn the notification bell on, because how else are you going to know when I'm putting out more content, right? And then also too, I'm super excited about this. I can't announce it yet. I have an announcement that I'm really thinking that I'll be able to come out before the new year. It's going to be really cool. It's not going to completely change the direction of my channel for the long term, but at least in this next season, it's going to tell you where it's going, and I'm super excited about that. So again, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you tap that notification bell so you don't miss any new videos I put out. Tap that like button, tap it, and then comment. If you watch this whole video through and you're not going to comment and chop it up with your boy, what are you doing? This is a community, so don't go crazy. None of that hating. Accountability is fine, but none of that hating. Let's have a conversation. And without further ado, y'all know I love you, but most importantly, Jesus loves you. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.